So when you did the ending of the movie, you have Idris talking to Chris about and talking about his boss. When you put something like that in, how much are you and Joe? Do you already know who that character is, or how much is it sort of just fun to put out something and be like, we'll figure it out later if we get to do Extraction 3?
I think we know who the character wants to be. I don't think we don't know who that actor is who's going to portray that character, if that makes sense. So by saying something like that, what you're doing is, you just had two pretty wild movies with Tyler Rake. What is going to be upping the ante? What are the stakes? How are they elevated? And by just dropping a single line, like, he's a gnarly, mother effer, you're like, okay, one line then says this is someone who might be in the same league as Tyler Rake. Now I'm intrigued. And so as a character, we know who this person is going to have to be. Who is going to portray that? I think that's the beauty of that line. It's like now that single line can go out and attract a lot of cool, amazing actors to play that, wild character. So it's a little bit of both, but I think we wanted to leave it open and yet capture the essence of what was needed for the next film for Tyler Rake.
How much did you and Joe debate where and how to end the movie?
The ending actually was going to happen pretty early, and it didn't change a lot. Like that, ironically, I don't think irony is not the right feeling there, but incidentally, it didn't change that much. A lot of things throughout the movie changed, but the ending. Once we had an idea that, and this is spoilers, right? We can talk about things. Once Idris was on board, and we knew that we wanted his character to kind of top it off there at the end as like it was kind of like a version of a post-credits Marvel scene, right? Like you wanted to be like, have him there at the end again so that people could start to speculate and go, oh shoot, they're going to be in a movie together after this. So once we had that and it was working, we're like, nah, we're good. There's no reason to mess with that.
Did you guys debate putting in like an after the credits scene, or was it sort of like never on the table?
No, it wasn't really on the table just because, it's hard to, you're not really going to out Marvel. So we were like, let's save that let's let this movie stand alone as what it is, which is a sequel that honors the first movie and hopefully ties up Tyler Rake's, current dramatic, dilemma, and allow him to go off to the next one free and clear. And let's just see how people respond and then develop what that is.
The other thing I wanted to know is, how did you decide who was going to live and die in the movie? And was it ever going to be possible other things, other choices?
It was. We went back and forth. There's only, so many characters that would affect Tyler in the way that you need him to be affected. It's because you need that moment there where for the team, you lose something valuable. Like you take a risk. You're making this big move to take this family away from these super powerful people. You have to lose something, at least to raise the stakes for the third act. That's what was my feeling. And so, we played with it, some different characters, but ended up with, Yaz being the one to choose, because we thought that that helped motivate like two beloved characters, which was Tyler Rake and Nick Khan. So, and we wanted to, because people, huge fans of Nick, like she's garnered such a following from these movies, that we wanted to make sure that, she was serviced as well, meaning like that her character had some really meaty stuff to hold on to. So we figured we landed with Yaz because it did two for the price of one. Basically, we have the guilt that Rake feels of like bringing them into this, and like his close friend and brother, basically. And then the actual blood brother of Nick dies. And so that she's conflicted, like, what is she doing here? And interestingly, and here's a fun, like, kind of spoiler alert. We did this scene. This is a scene that was in and out, and it was out and it was in, where Nick is talking. She brings in the strudels to the mom and kid who are in the bed in Vienna. And they have a talk about second chances. That was a scene that was kind of in, it was out. But we left it in because, one, it means multiple meanings. She's talking, yes, about the kid, but she's also talking about Rake, and she's also talking about, the son. And we throw a line in there when she talks, and she's kind of empathizing with the mom and saying, I know what it feels like. I've been there. And we're trying to, like, it's subtle. It's a Easter egg, but that's kind of hinting towards her and Yaz's own spinoff movie. So we're going to like get to follow them. And again, this is a spoiler. Don't put this out there. This is an Agbo thing. They should be the ones to release that. But we put that line in there to pique interest for people about her backstory. Like, whoa, like what do you know about, like, how do you know how she feels? Like, were you a mother? Did you like what? So we tried to just put that in there, and that scene went back and forth and back and forth. But the intrigue that it brought to the story caused it to remain.
Yeah, the biggest thing I found with Agbo is that they have so many things that they could work on in terms of sequels, prequels, spin-offs. Like, the list goes on, and there's just only so many hours in the day.
I know, right? It's like they have such a mind for universe building. I think it's like part of it, I think, is just innate in them. And I think the other part is the, time at Marvel, just seeing like connecting dots like that. And they just, you're right. It's a plethora of ideas, and it could go so many ways. I mean, they could stock Netflix, pages for days. Like they could be the sole provider for probably years of content.
Also, people love action movies. It's not like this is going to go away. I mean, action, people love action movies. And when they're well done, that is, when they're above, we've all seen action that is, it's fine. But, Extraction raises the level, in terms of, anyway.